All righty, it looks like we are live on YouTube. Welcome everyone to this beautiful fall Tuesday, September the 21st edition of the OpenJS Foundation Standards Working Group meeting. We have a small but mighty group today. Welcome. We start with announcements. Things you want to share, any news? There's always something from the foundation, but of course, I'll let somebody else pop off with their announcements first.
Just a couple of things. Today at 12 p.m. Pacific, there is a marketing committee meeting. So if that is something you're interested in for the OpenJS Foundation, you'll find that on the public calendar. Also next week, I'll be speaking with some folks at a couple of conferences where we will be sure to be talking about our great work from the Standards Working Group, and that is Tuesday at noon Pacific, also on September 28th at the Open Source Summit North America. I'll be on a panel with Sarah Chips and Liz Parody talking peace, love, and JavaScript, how to build culture and community. And then on Thursday for the next web conference in Amsterdam, although we'll be presenting virtually, I will be with Amanda Silver from Microsoft talking about building resilient teams. So those are my news bits for today.
Cool. We also have, speaking of meetings and community things happening this week.
Jory, you have your speaking up next week too.
I do have that. That is happening also.
Sorry, don't forget.
That's all right. I won't forget. I better not forget. I'll be in big trouble, I think. But also today is the working session for the CPC that's right after this call. We'll be just talking about the Easy CLA. As you all may have seen, we had some we had a little bit of a busy week last week, swapping lots of the JS Foundation projects over to the new Easy CLA tool. So if you're interested in learning how that works or need to get more information, pop on in and we'll do a demo of that and answer your questions and stuff. There's also a blog post that we put out yesterday too, giving folks a heads up. Due to a technical issue, we had to expedite that very quickly, but happily, most of our projects are already fixed and on the way. So pop into that next meeting if you're interested. We have a programming committee meeting this Thursday. So that's another thing if you're interested in OpenJS World. And then board meeting on Friday. So if you want to pop into the public board meeting on Friday afternoon, that is another thing happening this week. So,
and you want to talk, so your breakout session at Open Source Summit?
Oh yes, and then that is Monday, and that's actually at the OSPOCon event, which is like co-located, and we'll be talking about, during my session, we'll be talking about JavaScript Landia and all of the community programs that we have here. So, dial in if you like.
Can I share the prop that we have that we'll be bringing?
Yeah, and come see us and get an
embroidered patch if you're a member of JavaScript Landia, or a sticker if you're not. So,
Samantha, you have your hand up.
Yeah, there's also the Web Directions conference that's happening, that happened on 17th, and then it's the same set of talks are happening on 24th as well. That has a good set of talks. Alex Rezel was also there speaking about web in general, like focused on PWA and web, new capabilities of web and around it. It's an interesting conference.
Yeah, can you Slack me the information and we'll tweet it out from the OpenJS handle?
Yeah, sure.
Okay, thanks.
Awesome. Any other announcements, project related, personal victories? Otherwise, no? Okay, cool. All right, lots of stuff as y'all can see. We move to our agenda now. The first thing that we want to just hit really quickly is an update on the site, the spec ed site that we've been working on. So after last week, I sent the brief up over to creative services that we'd been working on. They got back to me and let me know, thank you so much. They're in just the final throes of the event resource needs that they have because the event's next week. But after that, we're going to set some time for them to come to our meeting and do a design session with us. So that's the latest there, kind of tracking the way that we had anticipated. Another just issue that I actually filed on the spec ed repo is a request for some resources. I know one of the things we talked about was to what extent we could author resources for the community, as opposed to just curate resources that already existed. There was a conversation in the TC39 delegate channel where we identified there's an opportunity to create a resource for the community to kind of better understand how the community's role in standards development works. So for those who are not delegates, not planning to become delegates, but may track or support or follow or want to weigh in, like what sorts of things should they expect, can they expect, that kind of thing. So that's a ticket that's opened on the spec ed site if you're interested in helping me or helping someone from the TC kind of draft that would be super. So there's a request to us for support there, and I think that's something we can do.
Jory, is that written content or video? Because
I think that's written content. Yeah, just a written kind of guide.
Because you might consider little video snippets, and then we can take a writer and pull out some relevant pieces. That might be a more lightweight way for the community to create content.
That's true. It could be, it could start as like something that's more of a video discussion or something short and kind of educational, and then brought into a written document or something like that. That's a good point. So lots of opportunity there, I think. And that would be a very valued, I think, way to support that TC and other working groups that intersect a lot with the community, but where the community is not fully, for example, understanding of how the TC works differently than, say, a big open source project. So those are my two updates on the site and that resource. Are there any other thoughts or questions or news on the resource site? We can move to our next topic otherwise, unless anybody wants to talk further about Wisteria. Gwist. That's the code name. Okay, cool. All right. Okay, so the next thing that I wanted to chat about with this group is supporting a liaison travel for the Unicode conference that's coming up in few weeks now in California. So our Unicode liaison, who certainly is going to be participating both as the liaison and also as the project message format, will be attending and would like our official endorsement beyond, of course, the endorsement that is given through the travel fund itself to kind of do this on behalf of the standards working group. So this is certainly clearly covered by our travel policy and clearly covered by our existing policies, but we haven't fully kind of worked through the entire process of saying, here's when we acknowledge something is officially kind of endorsed by the group here. And so I'd love to be able to do that, so we could perhaps write something about it and celebrate that on our blog as part of kind of the work that this group does. I am supposing that there's no big like questions or concerns here, but wanted to bring it to you all before barreling forward like a bull in a china closet, which is how I operate sometimes. Any questions or concerns, or just go wreck shop, Jory? Emily.
Yeah. So in case it's not implicitly clear, it's me that she's talking about there. I would like to note that I don't think I'm the OpenJS Foundation's liaison for Unicode technically. It was someone else. I did help set it up.
You and Ben are the
Ben is
people,
the primary liaison. I am our representative for the message format working group, which is a CLDR, part of the CLDR working group, or operates under it.
My recollection was that we had kind of had you and Ben as primary, you as sort of alt. Ben's been unfortunately away for personal reasons. So I think that clearly.
I'm happy to share that understanding. And please do let me know if there are active things I ought to be doing as such a person. I am not aware of anything, but please let me know. But I've been quite active in the message from a working group recently in particular. We're having, even right now, quite an active week. We had our meeting yesterday, and we're going to have another call tomorrow, hoping to resolve some of the issues that are blocking or some of our progress. And I did manage to get the group to start working more on the actual specification text and to have more of that work of the working group happening asynchronously rather than requiring actual video calls to get things to progress. And that is the start of that is quite promising. And I've submitted one of the core sections of that, and I'm going to be submitting further sections of the specification text there. Definitely an interested party here, shall we say, and definitely feel like I could help many things along by participating at the Unicode conference. And I think I'm slotted to be speaking there as well about specifically the stuff that we're doing about message format too. And it's just, I would, as I'm also working on this from the Mozilla angle, it would be nice if I could arrange things through there, but Mozilla's travel policies are currently not really allowing for that to happen. Therefore, talking with you guys here.
Yep, I mean, all that makes sense to me. And again, you know, it follows the policy that we have pretty well. It clearly fits with the project message format working group, message format JS. Maybe they're related. And then also it fits within the, I think the liaison relationship that we started and are hopefully building more upon. And so in terms of, you know, for me, it checks all of our boxes, and the details are boring.
Yeah, absolutely. I think Ben actually started a blog just to give, you know, the foundation community just more information about what the Unicode consortium does. And maybe when you come back, we can just sort of dust that off and just give folks an update.
Yeah, we can check in with Ben on that blog, and maybe just finish it up for him, and post that, and maybe post obviously would like to, as Robin is suggesting with Hemant's talk in a couple of weeks, you know, tweet and celebrate your attendance.
I would be very happy after the conference to coordinate with the foundation and social media people about how do we best communicate this, and also, of course, with this group, communicate about the actual content of all of this.
Great. And we can do the heavy lifting. We just need your you
Yeah,
know, we can just interview you on a call, or Ben, and we'll just finish it up.
I'm very happy to figure out the details whenever it seems suitable.
Sounds good.
Cool. All right. Well, hearing certainly no hard questions or anything like that, I'll just email, follow up with you to make sure you have what you need for the reimbursement stuff, and then we'll also start figuring out how to queue up some twits on the Twitters. Very good at social media. So okay, that's all I got for this topic, and I think that's it, because the other big topic is the tag nominations, which we're going to discuss privately, just so that everybody has room to freely say, let's nominate this person or let's nominate that person, without, you know, putting that out on the public thread, because that might embarrass someone. So we're gonna close this public session unless there's any other business. Okay, cool. Hearing none, I will stop the stream.